Good evening, true crime enthusiasts, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we delve into a case that shattered the peace of a quiet County Durham street and left a community reeling. It's a story of mistaken identity, a senseless act of violence, and the meticulous work of law enforcement and prosecutors that brought a measure of justice to a grieving family. We're talking about the tragic murder of 60-year-old Barry Dawson. It was a sunny Saturday afternoon, April of this year. Picture it, children playing, neighbors enjoying the spring air. A typical scene in Elm Street, Stanley. But that peace was about to be brutally shattered. At approximately 5:15 p.m., a car pulled up carrying three men who had a deadly agenda. What unfolded next was a horrifying sequence of events. Kelvin Lawson, 38, smashed the living room window of a home with a brick. And then Reay, 30, fired a shot at close range through that broken window. That single shot struck Barry Dawson in the chest, fatally wounding him. He was pronounced dead at the scene a short time later. But here's where the tragedy deepens. Barry Dawson was not the intended target. He had simply come downstairs to investigate the commotion, to understand why his neighbor's window had been smashed, and to see what was happening outside his home. In a cruel twist of fate, he became the victim of an attack meant for someone else. This wasn't a case where the suspects simply melted away. The immediate aftermath saw a desperate attempt by the perpetrators to cover their tracks. After the fatal shot, the shooter, Reay, fled the Durham area entirely, eventually being apprehended far away in Northern Ireland. But the focus of the investigation quickly turned to the others. The Crown Prosecution Service, or CPS, working hand in glove with Durham Constabulary, began to meticulously construct a case built on digital footprints and forensic evidence. This wasn't just about the man who pulled the trigger. Prosecutors needed to prove that Ray's accomplices, Kelvin Lawson and Thomas Sterling, were equally guilty of murder. In the eyes of the law, intentionally assisting or encouraging a murder makes you just as culpable. Their case relied heavily on modern techniques. CCTV footage, hours of surveillance film helped police painstakingly piece together the movements of the men in the crucial moments leading up to and immediately following the shooting. Mobile phone data, this was key. Digital records showed their communication and their geographical movements, effectively placing them at the scene and confirming their coordination. Forensics. Evidence from the car, the scene, and the weapon all provided the physical links needed to tie the group together. As Andrea Milsom, the senior Crown prosecutor, stated, the men worked as a team, not only in the attack itself, but also in aggressively intimidating concerned neighbors right before the shooting. This was a joint enterprise in terror and violence. While Reay, Lawson, and Sterling were facing murder charges, two other individuals played crucial roles in the attempted cover-up, charges they later admitted to, perverting the course of justice. The driver of the car that carried the three murderers, Keith Dorward, was found not guilty of murder, but he had a crucial role after the fact. Following the attack, he made a desperate attempt to burn the car in nearby parkland to destroy evidence. He later pleaded guilty to perverting the course of justice. Then there was Michaela Hetherington. She was facing the unenviable position of having her car used in a murder. To try and protect those involved, or perhaps out of fear, she falsely claimed to police the morning after the shooting that her vehicle had been stolen. She too pleaded guilty to perverting the course of justice. After a thorough trial at Teesside Crown Court, the jury delivered its verdict on October 31st. The convictions were a powerful validation of the police and CPS's effort to prove that those who facilitate a murder are as responsible as the person who pulls the trigger. Reay, the man who fired the fatal shot, was found guilty of murder and also pleaded guilty to possessing a prohibited firearm. Kelvin Lawson and Thomas Sterling were both found guilty of murder. The prosecution successfully argued they had intentionally assisted and encouraged the murderous act, despite not holding the weapon. For the family of Barry Dawson, this verdict brought the only closure possible in the face of their enormous loss. A 60-year-old grandfather, shot and killed by mistake on a sunny Saturday afternoon, simply because he investigated a disturbance outside his home. The three men convicted of murder, along with those who admitted to perverting the course of justice, now await sentencing at Teesside Crown Court, where they will face the consequences of shattering the peace and taking an innocent life. This case is a stark reminder that violence has a ripple effect, reaching far beyond the intended target. What are your thoughts on the concept of joint enterprise in a case like this? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Crime Reporter Chronicles.